Okay, time to solve this system, but we're going to use a matrix. You can draw your matrix over here. You got 6. You subtract 9y, it becomes negative 9. And then 18 is over here on the right side. You get 2, 15, 6. Make sure your columns match up. Right, these are the x's, these are the y's, these are just the numbers. Okay? Make sure you got that for your when you set up your matrices. Okay, now we're at this point. We need to remember we want to get this in reduced row echelon form. So that's going to be 1, 0, 0, 1 with numbers at the end there. That's RREF, reduced row echelon form. And so that's what we do. Let's take look at your coefficients here. See if there's something that's simple that you can, I guess you don't want to look at the last one. Just look at your first two, because you're trying to get them to be 1, 0, 0, 1. Is there something you can multiply 1 by and like add or subtract to the other line to get us some zeros or 1s? Okay, you want to try and get zeros and 1s. I notice here if I do 2 times it by 3 and I subtract that from 6, I'm going to get a 0. So let's do that. Row 1, instead of having row 1, we're going to take row 1 and we're going to subtract 3 times row 2. And we'll just leave row 2 the way it is for now. So you take 3 times row 2, so that's 6, 45, and 18. And we have to subtract those numbers from row 1. So 6 minus 6 gives us 0. Oops, 0. And then negative 9 minus 45 is negative 54. And you got 18 minus 18, which is 0. And then we're going to move on to our second line, which is just 2, 15, 6. Okay, this top one is almost ready to be solved. I mean, like, so, as in this number is almost 1. You just have to divide that whole first row by negative 54. And so do that. Take your whole first row and divide by negative 54. And leave row 2 the same. So you take row 1, divide everything by negative 54, you get 0, 1, 0. Because 0 divided by negative 54 is just 0. Second row, nothing really changes. Okay, well, I notice that here I can take my 1 and times it by 15 to make them the same. And so if I take row 2 and I subtract 15 times row 1, I'm going to get rid of this 15 here. It's going to be 0. So first row is still 0, 1, 0. Second row, well, if you do 15 times 0 and you subtract that from 2, you get 2. But if you do 15 times the 1 and you subtract it from the 15, you get 0. And 0 times 15, subtract from 6, is still just 6. Okay, we're almost done. We need to take row 2 and divide by 2. And row 1 is going to stay the same for now to get 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 3. Everything in the second row got divided by 2. And you can turn this upside down, like interchange the rows if you want to, but it's kind of just a technicality. But we do have reduced row echelon form. Remember, this says that x, that's the 1, is equal to 3. And then the second row, the second column are the y's, 1, y equals 0. And so you get the solution, x equals 0, x is 3, y is 0, that's the point, 3, 0.